Welcome to episode 4 of the first season of Conversations. We're with Helen King. Welcome back.
Thank you.
One of the things that I rely on and admire so much is your inner guidance, the way you communicate with spirit or God or your higher power. I admire many things about you, but that has got to be at the top of the list. Here's what you wrote. I easily communicate with spirit, ask questions, and receive answers. Yes, no, even to the simplest of questions. I ask for percentages of effectiveness, positive or negative, for anyone or anything, for myself and others. I am open to messages, requests, comments. I'm mentally, emotionally focused and tough. And you are sure of your actions. And I get what you're saying. I believe what you're saying. I've seen it in your life. I've seen it in my own. But what do you say to people who think that's just a little too woo-woo? They want direction from a book, or they want direction from someone else, or they can't believe that you actually communicate this way.
Well, when you receive things from people, it's their experience, their opinion. One person's opinion, their truth, their reality, which may not be mine. There may be parts of it that I identify with, and I will gladly, gratefully accept those. However, sometimes I can feel my body saying, no, that's not true. We are made in God's image, omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient. Do you believe that?
I do.
And most people will say yes. However, it gets dropped right there. They don't act as if that's the truth.
They still want God or someone to tell them what to do.
Out there.
Out there.
Rather than in here. And everything you need is within and around you to be accessed whenever you choose. But we must listen. We must be open. And we can have partial truths. We talk about beliefs. Right in the word, it tells you it might be a lie.
I'd never thought of it that way.
So, and truth never changes. Individual truth does. As you become more aware, as you unfold to reality, the real it, you act differently, you speak differently. So I know that I can get information out there, but I must go inside and listen and go deeper and deeper and get more and more truth that way.
To act on that, however, requires a tremendous, bless you,
Thank you.
tremendous amount of responsibility on the part of the individual.
Well, I remember as a child, when I knew I wanted to do or have or be something, it was up to me. That I would have to find the courage, find the wherewithal. So whenever I came up to something I was afraid of, I made myself do it. And of course, when you're a child, it's simple things. But the more you do those things, the more you sit still and say, how can I do this? You find a way. And it may not be the way of your family or society, but it's you have the skills and the tools. You wouldn't want to do if it wasn't possible. And people will say, that's impossible. Well, take that word and look at it. It tells you right there, I'm possible.
I'm possible. Yeah.
So if one person has done it, someone else can do it. So I started looking at successful people and people that had the things, and I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about the things that bring me joy. And it can be a walk in the woods, it can be a lake, or it can be a sunrise. But the meaningful things in life are the things that you cannot buy, in my opinion. The greatest interaction with people, all of the kingdoms, the mineral, the plant, the animal kingdoms, as well as human. And taking the word human, one of the names of God is Hu. So it's, in man is manifest, God manifest. And I don't want to be somebody else. I want to be me, but I want to be the real me. Mm-hmm. Real means respected, empowered, appreciated, and loved.
And if people can't handle the real me,
well, that's their issue, not mine.
excellent.
And so I will treat you the way I want to be treated. I want your needs to be met. I want you to be successful, and I will do what I see as mine to do. I tell people, if you see anything you like, I'll help you get it. Because you're your own personal care physician, your own chef, your own financial advisor. You're the one that's creating your life. So take responsibility for every area of it. And when you feel competent in the different areas, that is so self-fulfilling. You're not depending on anyone else. No one can bring you happiness. It's an inside job.
The feelings that you're talking about are so precious and so strong and so wonderful when we feel them.
Yes.
On the other hand, there is tremendous pressure all around us from marketing, advertising, friends, relatives, saying that this is what we need to be happy. That's what we need to be happy. Does that ever get tiring to you, hearing all of that, knowing that it's really not the truth?
It's not my criteria. And one of the saddest times in my life was when I had to tell my children that you couldn't believe everything you heard and saw on television or read in the newspaper. So it's like, what are your feelings? What does your knowledge tell you about this? And I seldom go with the crowd. So, like I say, you don't have to be weird to be my friend. I'll teach you how. So, it's like what I want out of life is different. I know people used to say, well, I started traveling because I wanted to see things, different cultures, different landscapes, etc. And so I created a way to be able to do that. And so people would say, where are you going now? And then some people would say, where are you going now?
I find it, as you know, I travel as well. And I find it humorous that people travel to a new place, expect to see new things, and then complain because it's not like it is at home.
Yeah, if that's what you want, stay home.
Yeah.
So I asked Spirit, what can I say to stop this? So it was, well, God gave us the world, and so I'm just going to see my gift. Mm. And that stopped it. And so because I had a focus of really wanting to see places and people and things and cultures, I had that openness about me, and I blended right in. And people opened up to me. I mean, I'd meet somebody on the street and they'd take me home. No, I'm not kidding. And some people even to say, come stay with me for a couple of days. And I did.
Yeah.
And I was in it's an upright mall in Paris, a very famous one, and I was in the book department, and this couple came in looking for information about United States, and I said, "Can I help you?" And they looked at one another, and yes, well, they started asking me questions, and what their understanding of United States was way off base. So I started talking to them, and then there was an announcement, and I thought, does that say that the store is closing? Yes. And they talked back and forth, and they invited me. I said, will you help me out? Well, they not only helped me out, they took me home and entertained me and fixed dinner. We bought our dinner on the way home, and it was like 2:30 in the morning, and we still hadn't had dessert. And here I was in a strange place with a strange couple, so to speak. And the French don't take people home. If they entertain in a restaurant or a public place. But these people did, and so then I got the tube, had to change, and that was a challenging and a bit frightening experience to travel in the middle of the night.
But you're here to talk about it.
Well, yes.
And none of this would have happened if you didn't have the wherewithal to listen to Spirit.
Yes. Oh, yes. I get guided minute by minute sometimes. It's like I'm walking down the street and it'll get on this bus. Okay? Get off. Walk 3 blocks right, 2 blocks left, and I would be at my place where I was to be over and over again.
One word of advice or one sage, part of your sage wisdom to people as we conclude this episode about communicating with Spirit and listening to our guidance.
Be still and know. Amidst chatter, amidst noise and busyness, job, people, family, you don't hear. It's like turn out the outside noise so you can listen to the inner information. And the more you do it, the more you can. It's like a little bit of drop of information gets dropped in, bit by bit. And then with use, that opens until anything can get shoved down. And the more you do it, the quicker it comes. So, and not only for myself, but for other people. I know people will say, I need to know more about my past, and not necessarily mean just in this lifetime, but others. And so Spirit asked me to do it. And the method that people were using, I did not appreciate where they left. The technique did not leave people in a good place. And so I didn't want my name attached to it. So I got bugged for like 2 years before I said yes. I said, I'll say yes, but I need a different vehicle for doing it. And so the answer was speak in parables. Like it's like this. And so I do a thing called past life parables. And it's always information about something that you're experiencing now. And I saw it like a movie, and I just would tell them what was going on in the movie. And I offered it, and 16 people agreed to come. And I wanted to do it in a group, because like-minded people get together and you can learn from one another, because you've had similar pasts, or will. And so it was just so successful. And I knew that that was a way I could go. And some people would come 10 and 12 times over a period of time. But they say, I need to know something. When are you going to do it again? And so it reminds people of how wonderful they are inside and how much information and how many skills they have. And I remember one time I told somebody that they were an artist. Oh, I can't do anything. Yes, you can. It's just because you haven't done it doesn't mean you cannot do it.
People just can't seem to get enough of you And that's why we're continuing with these interviews and with these episodes. So thank you again for taking time with us. And I don't think we're disappointing people.
Well, it helps me to do my work.
And to know that we can help you is
Oh.
such a joy.
Yes, thank you.